Also, yeah, I'll say after. Didn't we blow shit up, burn things down last time?
Yeah. Would anyone like to do the
We
recap,
met.
or should I do the
We
recap?
met. We met with Ramona's significant brother, who we found out is actually quite insignificant. We bullied him. We didn't blow up an entire bar. We technically did the mission, and we found out that he's part of the gangs. The gang. He's part of the gang that hired us to figure out who the biker gang, who was stealing from the bikes,
Riot waves.
the riot waves. We found out that the riot waves. He's part of the riot waves, and we were paid to figure out who was stealing from the riot waves, and then we were gonna pin it all on him. But how are we gonna pin it on someone who's in the riot waves? But we still can. I mean, it's not like it's a bad thing, you know.
Hi, sorry.
It would be kind of mean to pin it on him now, I think.
Hello?
Poor guy.
Hello.
Well,
Hello.
Max Nuts.
Wait, are we in roleplay right now?
No. We're just doing the recap.
No recap.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, he's Ramona's brother. We got a little bit of Ramona's backstory and how Ramona was said that she abandoned her family. Then Ramona's like, I didn't abandon shit. And then someone else was like, yeah, you did. We saw you. And it's like, no, I was kicked out of the family. It was very Mexican soap opera.
I don't know if any of us have watched Mexican soap operas.
I have. They are something else.
I only know about that. I only know about that one. What is it? I forget.
No, that's all I remember.
Yeah,
My mind's fuzzy. I just
destroyed an establishment.
We didn't destroy it. We
Pretty
blew it up.
much.
We blew up the
You
toilets.
initially went to the Flying Salmon to find someone who you could blame for the disappearance of bike parts and the killing of riot waves. You picked a fight with the toughest guy in there, which just so happened to be Ramona's little brother.
Yeah.
And after that went horribly wrong for 5 minutes.
Lenny.
Well, closer to like an hour. But one of you blew up the toilet and not in the way you think you did.
Yeah, exactly. Too much Taco Bell. You know how it is.
And then you all ran, or you were all kicked out, and then you took Lenny back to the Goblin hideout. Lenny had a bit of a heart-to-heart with his sister, and then went and had a shower, and the rest of you were discussing how you wish to tackle your current situation.
Get paid, get bitches.
I agree.
Thank you.
And so, we set the scene. Lenny is in the shower, he's washing off. 4 of you are stood around the table having breakfast with your goblin cohort. And the smell of fried food and hot water is in the air. And fresh coffee.
Do 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 do.
Do. Oh, fun fact. So,
Fun fact.
my my pet head doesn't come back.
What do you mean he doesn't come back?
No, he doesn't come back. Not this time.
No, have you got access to an improved familiar now?
Oh, instead of taking the original thing I was gonna take, because apparently they reworked how the spirit guide is the spirit guide could
Yeah.
usually attack, which would have been able to help people get flanking. I just improved the familiar, so I get more bigger points, and I have more familiars to choose from. And I found one I think I kind of want to play with a bit.
Well, I mean, you all went to bed as level 6s, so you've had this morning to prep your new abilities and new equipment and think about where you want to take your unfathomable power now.
But you guys have unfathomable power.
Well, you're level 6, so it's still pretty fathomable, but you know.
Yeah. Um. Uh. uh
Hello?
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 Oh, okay.
Sorry, I'm still looking at what ability I want to hand it. I want to know if I can give it. I think I have to give it something else. Where is the other thing? I gotta make sure it has it. Sorry, give me a second.
And you all stand around.
There we go.
You all stand around the table as the goblins are all chatting away, serving each other food. It's gone 7 o'clock now. Everyone's beginning to get up.
Yeah.
Wee.
Fable no longer has a shadow.
That's unsettling.
That's weird.
Fable and her antics.
Yeah. She's gonna come in skippity loo, skippity lee after her morning coffee. Good morning, everyone. Have we thought about how we're gonna say the job?
Brum brum.
Hmm.
What would you mean, Fable?
Oh, um, turn it in. How are we gonna turn in your brother?
Well, we're not gonna turn him in.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think we should at all. Poor guy.
okay. He seems quite sad.
Yeah, I don't think things have been working out too well for Lenny.
Well,
We I mean, Lenny gave us some sort of a lead. You know,
oh yes. I almost forgot.
That's true.
We are going meet one
We're
of my
going to find
contacts.
one of the informants, right?
mm-hmm.
What if he betrays us?
What do you mean?
Well, how can we trust Lenny? He wanted to beat you
The
up,
same way we all trust you.
but I don't want to beat any of you up.
We all have to have faith in each other, or it won't work.
Hmm. Okay.
Hmm. Layla raises her hand.
Yeah.
I say that we can probably trust him. It's been an entire night, and he, to my knowledge, hasn't done anything out of the ordinary, right?
Yeah, his room was unlocked. He's just taking a bath. If he wanted to, he could just run away, right?
Yeah, but he's not going to
Indeed.
do that.
Even so, he's been the first proper lead that we've ever had on the whale so far. So, I
He's
feel
more
that
valuable to us than the gang is, so we keep him, and if the gang comes after us, we kill them.
a bit blunt, but yes, you are correct.
Sometimes we have to be like that for Fabled.
To
Like
kill?
Fable, if I say beat around the bush, do you know what that means?
Well, we punch people around a bush?
Yeah. So we just have to be direct with each other.
But why would you? I mean, unless you fight around the bush. We haven't really fought around many bushes.
Well, I mean, there was Mr. Tree that fell down when we all first met.
Yes, we were ambushed. But I think that's a different kind of bush, Leilu.
True. We can't spend all day discussing these little matters. We should probably act now.
Well,
And unless we have anything else we need to attend to as soon as possible, I think it might be finally time for us to explore the underneath of the city. What do you think?
Yes. I think the Undercity needs to be dealt with.
isn't that where we're going to meet the informant?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Well done, Fable.
Thank you.
I'd give you a cookie, but I finished them all. She looks a bit disappointed by that.
It's okay.
Do any of you have access to water breathing spells or know how to
The
breathe
bike.
underwater?
We can breathe underwater with the bikes, right?
No,
Right.
could?
That's a.
they
If
work
we're on the bikes, we
underwater.
can breathe underwater. Or do we need?
They work underwater, but you cannot breathe underwater with them.
Okay.
Lots of people have spoken about these respirators that allow you to breathe underwater.
I think we might need a respirator.
As long as
I
we're down there just for an hour, I can cast a spell.
That
I have
might
to.
work.
I only worry of if we get into sort of battle that the spell might deactivate or the spell doesn't last long enough.
I mean, if I cast it and make it more powerful, it can last 8 hours. That means a third slot.
Well,
A slot. It's a slot.
Oh, I mean, sorry. It's a more powerful spell. And I get tired after casting a lot of those.
excuse me. Well,
Well, I have water breathing, if that's helpful. I believe we also have a scroll of it.
Oh, I had Shallow eat it.
I will be sure to keep air bubble on hand.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Oh, that's how I get spells.
What?
When I have
Um,
spell scrolls, I have my familiar eat it. But because my familiar is no longer a talking head at this moment, it's a shadow.
I somehow that is the least unusual thing I've heard from. That's
And
not negative.
well, specifically my shadow. And right now they're under my feet.
Oh.
Under your feet?
Yes, watch this. And then a shadow will appear at our breakfast table and start to lift itself from the ground, as if becoming 2D to 3D.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
Layla
That's a
just
bit
starts.
peculiar.
Oops, sorry.
It can also do this. It picks up a coffee pot and starts to pour Fable coffee.
Interesting.
Do we allow you to have coffee?
Uh, I feel like giving her coffee has been the least irresponsible thing we've done with her, no?
Oh, yeah, but I worry her being more hyperactive could be detrimental to us.
Well, we're
Whatever.
probably going to
We
be
have big
underwater in
problems.
we're going to be underwater in a few minutes. I'm not sure how well she can maneuver under there. But speaking of which, as she is like finished packing her adventure gear, shall we finally venture forth?
Yes. Let's get Lenny once he's out of the shower and we'll be good to go.
I can't say I'm excited to go under there.
Well, we're saving someone. That's what should get us excited.
Well, based on everything I've heard from this Undercity, I can't say that it's going to be, well, considering all the hardship had. It is so hard to do her stupid accent with all this issues with my throat. I'm just going to speak normally. Well, considering all the problems that we've dealt with above the surface, I'm not too pleased to know exactly what we're going to deal with down there, especially
We
with
are
all the things
on
I've heard.
Earth able to blow stuff up underwater. Think about the
That
positives.
Oh, fun
that
fact.
doesn't.
Fireball still works underwater. At least that's a rumor.
Well, I'm. She just looks at Leo. I feel like it'll be safer to keep him here, but also I'm worried about leaving him alone.
I mean, he won't be alone, he'll be with the goblins, right?
Pensive expression.
Well, I don't think the goblins would do anything bad with Leo.
I didn't say that they would. When did I say that? Sweat.
As your conversation about Leo sort of is forefront in your mind, Layla, you realise Leo's been alarmingly quiet this morning.
Goes to check up on him.
He's not in his bed. His big old cat bed that sits next to yours. He's not sat in that this morning.
Perception check to find out where he is.
Lovely. Roll me that perception check.
badly. $17.
17. So on a 17, it doesn't immediately come to you where he could be. He's very rarely out of his bed this early in the morning. Until all of a sudden you hear Tesco's over in the kitchen go, "Where did I put that leg of ham?" And knowing how Leo is around food, you very quickly glance around until you see across the other side, underneath the table, this tiny little lion tail poking out the other side of the table.
Crosses arms, taps foot, walks over, tugs on tail.
You glance under the table and you see Leo very stealthily chewing his way through this leg of ham almost as big as he is.
Clears throat as I look directly at him.
He looks directly back at you and slowly opens his mouth and takes another bite out of the ham. Without breaking eye contact with you, just slowly opens his mouth, lowers his head, and
just grabs the bone and tries to pull it from him.
Lovely. Make me an athletics check. And what's Leo's athletic?
Sheet. The sheet online says 9.
+9 to his athletics.
So wait, do I have to roll his athletics?
You make an athletics roll. I will make an athletics roll for Leo. And Leo has got a 16 on his athletics check. So you have to beat 16.
I'm not about to lose a tug of war match with a... Actually, wait, no, that's actually fully possible. Nine.
Yeah, Leo's got an absolute iron grip on this leg of ham. And you can hear him. Cats don't growl, but cats do make disapproving noises, and this is a very disapproving noise.
Not wanting to have her... Not wanting to lose her hand, she just backs off.
And Leo just goes back to quietly chewing on this massive ham underneath the table.
I think he will be just fine. Ugh.
And upon this conversation, you watch as the water shuts off, and a few moments later, Lenny steps out of this bathroom with a towel around his waist. You guys have hot water. The last place I worked didn't have hot water.
Well, don't ask us how it works. We think it shouldn't be hot, but yeah.
Okay, so as it turns out, I'm not going anywhere. So, yippee.
Yippee.
You're not being sent off on a quest.
To get a new fucking computer charger. At this point, I'm starting to think that one of the cats, like, chewed on it, because I don't know how it got a hole in it that big.
You'd be surprised what can happen to unattended electronics.
Regardless, yeah, she's not just saying much, she's just observing.
Yeah, and Lenny This is the first time you haven't been in a fight with Lenny. He's very lean, he's not terribly tall. Yeah, he's very lean, he's not terribly tall. He's got quite a slender young face. His hair is, now that his hair's clean, he's got it all swept back.
Twirls hair.
He has quite a narrow face, and he's got a couple of tattoos across his chest.
Hi.
Nice tats, Lenny.
Thank you. They were a gift from someone.
Oh,
From who?
So it was a friend a little while ago. Completed a job and saved their life. So we got matching tattoos. I was thinking about what you guys said about trying to reach the Undercity and trying to reach this whale. I've thought of a plan, but it might be a little dangerous.
and we
Do
like danger.
tell.
Well, in 3 days' time, I had a job to transport some more people to the one of the whale's curators. Those jobs normally run me and 4 additional guards. If we could convince the people they were going to have do the job to not do the job anymore, I could maybe get you guys in as last-minute substitutes and have you meet with this curator.
I think we can be rather convincing.
They've got 4 of our regular guys. I can't. Obviously, they're regulars, and I can't be seen dissuading them from this.
No, we'll make sure that they're dissuaded.
I've got some places, not names, but I've got places.
Do you consider these people close friends of yours, Lenny?
They're not my friends. They're just paid to do the same job I am. So if they go missing, it's not my worry.
Okay. I was gonna say, if we kill them, is it not your worry either?
She's not very up on slang, is she?
No.
That's fine. But yes, these people can go away and it's not my problem. And Lenny basically then gives a description of these 3 thugs. 2 are merfolk, one's a human, one's an elf. They all live in the sort of residential district a little further down. And he tells you how to reach all of them. And as long as those guys don't turn up for the job in 3 days, I can turn around and say, I've got some people who could do it.
Yeah, we can make sure they don't show up.
I also have some people I want to visit. Is it okay if I just come and go, or do you need me to stay?
Personally, I don't see a problem with you coming and going.
As long as you're
Yeah,
not followed, that's all that matters. Will you tell people
to
about
me.
this place?
I'm
Because
not
if
going to
any
tell
of my
people
goblins
here.
are dead, I will exact revenge.
Gently grabs Fable by the shoulders and eases her away from Lenny.
She quite loves her goblins.
They're all our friends. We're a
Don't worry,
coven.
I don't give away hideouts. Bad for business. And at this point, Lenny sort of grabbed his clothes off of that crate and is kind of aimlessly wandering around. Is there any private changing quarters here?
If you can find them, they're yours.
I just want to know if there's somewhere before I have to get dressed in front of a bunch of random goblins. No offense.
If you can find somewhere there's no goblins, feel free to get changed there. But to here first.
Yeah, Lenny's kind of
If you can shoo them out of the room.
you watch as Lenny then looks at the crates that are stacked up by the door to the these 4 crates that are stacked up by the wall, and you watch as he moves them into some sort of like makeshift wall. You can still see his head over this wall, but then he disappears behind this wall made of boxes to get changed.
Good show.
Well, that's
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yes, you now essentially have 2 days worth of downtime in which you have to
Assassinate some people.
eliminate 4 people.
Okay.
You can hit them in any order you want. You have their locations, or you have where they live. You have 48 hours to do it, and you also have 48 hours to do any prep you might want to do before heading into the Undercity.
Okay. Can you give us a list of these people, like what they do, where they live, what they are known for?
All of them live. All of these guys are essentially hired muscle. They do
Mhm.
work. They do work under the table for the various gangs. They will also take on private security jobs. They're just strong people who can be hired out for whatever. They all live in the residential district, which is the district below the factory district that you're in now.
So
Are
we'll
their
have to go
homes-
underwater to get to these guys.
No.
No, they're just below us.
So there's factory district, residential district, a red lighty, red light and shopping and commercial district, and then there's the water line, and then there's the Undercity, which you have no
Okay.
experience with yet, so you don't know what's there.
Lovely.
How do we blow it up?
The Undercity, it'll take a lot
No.
of
The
blowing up.
residential houses. Are there ways to make it explode?
Well, they're like a building Fable. You hit them with enough magic.
Well, not just magic. Are there things in there that are flammable, combustible?
Well, they might have bite. Their hide muscle.
Yes, but I wouldn't want to blow up a decent bike if I can take some parts and add them to my own.
I don't think we should just go in and explode everything. That's
No.
not very subtle.
There
Oh.
might be non-violent ways to deal with these people, or there may not be. You'll find out.
Non-violence.
Yeah, it's this radical new idea that you don't kill everyone you see on sight.
I feel like
Sounds
God
boring.
is whispering in my ears and saying not to kill them.
Oh no, your god is definitely whispering in your ears, telling you to kill people.
Oh, okay.
There is
Your God is definitely telling you to kill people.
there is unsettling whispers in your ears when you sleep. You know, the sort of subtle whispers that you just can't quite hear, but are always present and always lurking.
I'm sure one of our teammates is suffering from that.
It's the autistic
Such a
teammate that suffers from it. She takes them very literally.
Actually, on that note, Fable, as you acclimate to your new familiar, you sense a familiar presence.
Where?
And it's your patron. You just sense that your patron is watching you.
I have to make her proud. Do you did Lenny give us the addresses yet or no?
Yes, Lenny's given you addresses and ways to get them there.
All right.
So
Fable
I'm going to
has.
give you all a second to discuss because I desperately need to go to the loo.
Yeah, I mean, so far blowing up our problems has worked. Do we want to try not blowing these people up, or we're just going to blow these people up as well? 'Cause it's been really successful, so
It
I hate
really
to say
has.
that.
We could continue to just try and kill them. I don't really see a reason why not to. They don't sound like great people.
Yeah, I feel like we should have some reason we shouldn't be murdering people, but
I can
it's
also
not
turn
coming to
into an
us.
insect.
Okay.
I mean, so
I
can
don't know if
I,
that
but
makes. What if? What if I turn into an insect, sneak into their house, and poison them?
that's definitely the stealthy method.
How does that play out?
I can also curse them, in which they start to rapidly age. Or I can make them
That's
so thirsty where they'll drink the first thing they can see, and then that could be poison without them knowing.
that is extremely situational.
I can
But it could
also
work,
start to decay them, make them sprout mushrooms all over their body that eat away at their skin.
and then
Your
we stab them.
powers scare me.
Why am I scaring you?
Your powers scare me.
Oh,
I mean, it's magic.
I don't mean to be scary, Ramona. I'd never use them on you.
Well,
And she hugs Ramona. But a really
okay.
awkward hug. Like it's like the kind of hug you have to give at forced social gatherings as a kid. You don't want to give it, but you do. But this is supposed to be with the intent that she does care for Ramona.
It's lovely, Fable.
Yeah, you're very sweet.
I can also make worms materialize within people's stomachs.
Okay.
Like, how do you learn
That's
you have
not very helpful.
Oh, these worms are able to eat away at the insides of these people.
That's okay. I say, mm, we absolutely. Is this a case where we have to kill them? She's
No,
asking.
but I'm not able to convince people to not do things because I'm not that good with words.
Well then, you could. Well then, maybe we can attempt a conversation with them. Because, well, I. I mean, I'm a very charismatic individual, and she just does a peace sign next to her eye.
Do you think you can talk them down? Because I really can't.
I can also turn into a mantis, get them in a high-speed chase, and cut their brake line.
What?
I am
And that way they
confident
get
in
in
my
an
ability.
accident.
I'm confident in my ability to talk them down. And if not, then well,
Yeah, we can try
we,
talking to the first guy. If it doesn't work, we, go
yeah,
to plan B.
we can't just solve all our problems by hitting it really hard, right?
Well, but cutting their brake line wouldn't be us hitting them really hard, it'd be gravity. Or some other force like that.
Okay, all in favor of just speaking to this man?
Yeah, we'll try conversating with the first person.
Give
See
me
how
a
it goes.
thumbs up. I'll be next to their motorcycle. And on a thumbs up, I'll turn into a mantis, sneak into their
Why are you
inside.
turning into a mantis?
I think they can cut brake lines.
Why? Why?
Because if we challenge them to a race with a cut brake line,
Why are we challenging them to a race?
I don't know.
I like the
Case,
part where Leilu has a conversation with them.
but what if that doesn't work?
Why?
Then we kill them.
Yeah,
Yeah, but why don't we
just
challenge them
shoot
to a race to see
them.
if we can take the job?
I-
And then they
What if they
die in
don't
the race.
accept?
I don't know. Then we
Do
kill
you not
them?
have? Do you lack faith in my ability, Fable?
No, I don't. I truly believe in you. But it's always good to have backup plans.
Fable, if you just want to transform into a mantis, then you can do that right now. I'm actually a little curious what that looks like.
And waste waste saving it for later. I'll wait.
I think we'd better get going. We're burning daylight, moonlight. Yeah, daylight.
Can we stop at a shop that might have scrolls? I want to know if I can buy the scroll electric arc.
So it sounds like the plan is to
Try and convince these people,
head
failing
to
that.
this first guy and just talk to him and see if he can be spoken to like a reasonable individual.
Yes, and then murder him if that fails.
Or challenge him to a race and cut his brake lines.
I think that's just you, Fable.
No one
Is
no one
anyone
agrees
else
with
on
that?
team?
Cut his brake lines? Can I see a raise of hands?
I'd like the record to state nobody raised their hand.
I like the record to state you didn't see anyone raise their hands.
And from the other side of this, workshop area, you hear, "Yes, I've done it! Finally!"
Hmm?
And if you all look over, you see BP with his arms in the air in this little cheering position as he stood in front of this bike. He somehow has oil, blood, and some sort of green liquid on his face.
That interests Fable. Fable's gonna go check it out.
I got it working. I managed to fix it.
What'd you
I was
fix?
this bike. We've now got a third bike, or you guys now have a third bike. And he sort of gestures towards this one. It's got a clean. It's nothing special, but it's got a clean outside, and it all seems to be in working order.
Well done, BP.
I'm proud.
Claps for him.
I was having problems with dropping pressure in the fuel lines. And it was because one of the clips holding the fuel line to one of the intakes was loose, and every time you put it under pressure, it expanded slightly and a load of the fuel escaped, so it lost pressure immediately. But I've fixed it now.
Well done, BP.
What would have happened if it kept losing pressure?
It just didn't start. You tried
Oh.
to start it, it made this funny farting noise and then stopped.
Mm.
But yes,
Proud of
it
you.
should now work if any of you guys need to use it.
I think we're all very impressed.
I'll get to work on this fourth one, and then hopefully by late tomorrow, you should have a bike each, and that will make things a lot easier.
What a profession. Keep it up, BP, and every other goblin. Take note.
And he puts his hands up for a high five.
Fable
A
high
high
fives
five,
him.
BP.
Yeah, BP gets a double high five, and both of you realize that your hands are now covered in this viscous black sludge.
Fable's
So
gonna
And
bite.
if you just
So
try and
tempted to wipe it on Fable.
if you attempt to wipe it, you find that it just does not come off.
Mm.
Is that squid ink?
No, it's oil, and he gives it like a sniff and then licks it, and blood.
Oh.
Fable's
Hmm.
at this point also licking it on her from her hand. Definitely oil
Fable,
and
it
blood.
tastes awful.
Yeah, she's just like ah.
Oh, Fable, don't do that. That's not sanitary. And you're making me crave squid ink pasta.
Fable's gonna cast prestidigitation on her hand.
Yeah, and despite the fact that this is all-purpose purifying magic, it takes 2 goes to get it all off.
That's fine.
So what do people wish to do first as a group?
I think just go sharpen this person's house.
I agree.
As a squad show up to someone's front door. Like a psychopath.
Is there on the way not a potion, a scroll shop looking for electric arc?
No, that
Damn.
come on, brain. The shopping district is below the residential district.
Alright, we'll go there after. Laylu, well, who's gonna drive the third bike?
Probably me.
Laylu or Luna?
I'm gonna say I'll take this one, Leilu.
Well, I don't actually mind that. I like riding with Kane.
Oh, I was gonna recommend you hop on the back of my bike, but it's
No,
fine.
no, that's fine.
Little voice in
You
your
seem
the
to
back of your head says, "For your own personal safety, do not go on a bike with Fable."
you seem to really like on the bike. I don't want to hold you back.
For all
Let's gonna
intents and
move on.
purposes, did
Walks
you?
quickly.
Fable's gonna get on her bike, start it up.
And so, yes, this early in the morning, the doors are still shut, but as the bikes start up, you watch as two of the goblins run over, one on each door, pull it open, in this building that has no windows, and it all seems to be lit through magic or traditional candles. All of you are suddenly bathed in this warm, comforting sunlight, the smell of sea in the air. And you look out onto this open patch of sky with large boats and smaller bikes gently floating around. People going to work, people coming off of night shifts, and just people living their lives. And you set off.
Fable's gonna say race you and then drive off as fast as she can.
Well, after her?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have to chase after if we don't want to. Take it nice and easy. We don't have to rush anywhere.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
the
still,
lot
we should go after her, I think. Otherwise, she will just explode something.
and the lot of you take off into this sky. You come out of these double doors, and you drop down further and further, coming past the factories, coming past the heavy industrial vehicles and buildings and open parkways into a slightly denser network of these bridges and gardens into the housing district where buildings no longer lots of buildings have a more personal look to the outside of them. You notice people have taken to decorating their own doorways and their own windows. And you duck and weave and come out of these buildings until you end up about 20 minutes later, roughly where Lenny told you this first guy lived. You spot a garden just outside the building he lives in.
Do we know his name?
Lenny did not give you names for any of these people.
Does it
Okay.
look
That
like
Right,
makes
this
it
house
lady.
has a
harder.
family?
You got this, Lulu.
Okay, out of game. Just to make sure that I don't F up in character, are we trying to convince this guy to not go after Lenny, or...
We're convincing this guy to not do the job of transporting someone to an informant.
Okay.
Because
You are trying to convince someone to back out of a protection job.
yeah,
Okay, sounds intriguing. She cracks her knuckles and, like, fixes her hair a bit. I'll be fine. And if not, then perhaps, we'll
Wait.
be fine.
Fable is gonna kind of stick to the sky a bit, but before Leilu goes and approaches the door, Fable is gonna tap Leilu on the head, just like a little boop on the forehead, and say, "My shadow is now attached to you."
Looks at her shadow.
Still no shadow. Oh, what I mean by that is, your shadow is my shadow.
Um, thanks, Fable. That's really nice of you.
Oh, no problem.
And is
If-
it just Leilu going to go in?
I think we're letting Leilu knock on the door first.
Yeah.
Like hiding behind a very thin bit of cover.
Lovely. As a lot of you land, except for Fable, who's going to stick to the sky, you land into this garden and you see across the way is this big doorway with loads of with what seems to be a list of numbers with names next to them and little bells attached to each column.
I will proceed to knock on the door.
You can see through this door because it's got a big window on it. It just seems to open to a big lobby area. You were told that the person lives in flat 2.
I will go through the door.
Give me 1 second.
Yes, you
Oh, no
open the
problem.
door and you enter this lobby area. And on the wall, all these names are attached to house numbers, and flat 2 seems to belong to a smith.
A
Well,
Smith, like the name says A Smith, or the name says Smith, or the name says
The name says A. Smith.
A does. Okay.
She will proceed to that door then. That flat.
You walk down this hallway a little bit, and it's the second flat on the thing. It seems like it goes in order from 1 to 12. Around the outside of this big circular building, the corridor seems to loop around.
Hmm.
Yeah, and you stand in front of this door with a big number 2 on it and like a little door knocker thing on the front.
She will give it a gentle knock.
Lovely. You knock on the door and you hear the sounds of rustling and talking and what sounds like things being knocked over. Until suddenly you hear the door go and the door opens just enough for you to see a human man in a dressing gown with a vest on, and this vest is covered in stains. And this man
Yogurt
looks
stains, bean stains. What are we talking?
like baby puke green stains.
Ew.
He has a family.
Like-
Murder them.
And this man has got this rough 5 o'clock shadow. He's got massive black circles underneath his eyes. He seems to be losing his hair at the edge of his hairline. Can I help you?
Hello. How are you? What's your name?
Arthur, I thought you were the delivery girl.
Oh, sorry. I don't have any. I'm not the delivery girl. I actually wish to speak with you about a bit of an important matter. Flutter's eyes.
Sort of has a bit of a pensive look to you. And he says the phrase, little serpent.
Does that mean something in my language?
Can my shadow has touch telepathy. Anything it's touching, it can speak to.
You
As long
can
as it
speak
shares-
to Leilu.
I wanted to speak to Leilu.
Lovely. What would you like this shadow to whisper into Leilu's ears?
Can you guys remind me what the fucking the bike riding gang is this again?
Riot waves.
Right,
Waves,
waves.
alright. Little serpent,
Well,
big snake. The
Huh?
shadow says
Yeah,
in
you-
your ear, big snake.
Leilu, you hear from nowhere something you've never heard before. You hear the words whisper, "Little serpent, big snake."
Um,
And this guy
she
sort
will.
of looks at you a little expectantly.
Uh, yes. Do you wish to speak on the matter?
I'm not sure we have terribly much to talk about, but how can I help?
Okay, it's in regards. Let me just start with the politeness first. My name is Leilu, and Mr. Arthur. I wanted to speak with you in regards to a job that you were potentially taking on.
Yeah, I work a few odd jobs here and there. Laylu, make me a perception check.
Oh, sure thing. I'm not satisfied with how with the drawing I did of Layla, so I'm in the process of redoing it. That will be 26.
Lovely. As you're talking, you watch as this man's hand goes from resting on the door, sort of holding it half shut. His hand seems to slide round the back of the door as he starts to talk. And then you hear what sounds like something falling over, something wooden falling over.
Can
That
the shadow say big snake again to Leilu's ear?
Yes, Lalo, again in your head, you hear the words big snake.
she. Big snake. Am I supposed to say that out loud or just keep that in mind?
Honestly, not
You don't
100%
know.
sure.
The shadow doesn't say anything other than big snake.
Say big little serpent, big snake.
Little serpent, big snake?
He just sort of again stares at you. His hands now, one of his hands is now behind this door. Which job?
The bodyguarding job to protect this individual.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Oh, the bodyguarding job. Remember? Wait, I mean, you are aware of this one, right?
Yeah, I do bodyguarding on the side. I've got a job coming up in a couple days. I don't think I
Oh,
want to talk to this about you. I don't think I want to talk to you about this.
she almost reflexively puts a foot near the door in case he shuts it. Well, I'm sorry, but I dearly need you to not take upon that job, and it's for quite an important reason.
And which one of these reasons is more important than medicine?
Meh. Am I already aware of the medicine thing, or is this a new revelation?
This is a new revelation.
Um, I apologize, but what do you mean, medicine?
My son is sick, and this job was going to pay for his medicine.
Ah, well, if that was all it was, then I suppose I could help you in getting medicine for your sweet little boy. How much is it?
Why should I trust you?
Well, because I don't think it's fair that you have to do such a job just in order to save your child. Medicine like that probably shouldn't even have to cost money.
Can I get a diplomacy check from you?
23?
Hmm. The medicine he needs is quite expensive, and I'm not sure why a stranger would do that for me.
It's. Well, to put it simply, I have my own motivations why you cannot take upon that job, and it's for relatively similar reasons. We too are trying to help somebody, and and it's plenty of convoluted. Like, it's relatively convoluted, but all I know is that we simply need you not to take upon that job. And if getting the medicine for that child is all that is needed, then I suppose it wouldn't be that much of a hassle.
Lovely. Please make me another diplomacy check. Only this time give yourself a +2 circumstance bonus.
How come I have a +2 circumstance?
Because of what you've said to him.
That's 20 on the roll. Do I have to add 2 to that?
Yes. Add 2 and add whatever else you'd add to it.
Uh, I guess that's 22 then.
Okay. There's sort of a moment of hesitation as his eyes look to you. And then it almost seems like he's trying to glance his eyes. It almost seems like he's trying to glance his eyes back into his head. Yes, Fable, you're able to do that. I just need a perception roll.
Sweet as moonshine.
Oh. He looks at you and it looks like his eyes are trying to look in the back of his head as if he's looking to something behind him, but not taking his eyes off of you.
Are you alright? You look like you have a bit of an eye cramp there.
Hmm. I'll tell you what. If you're willing to give me the 110 gold I need for the medicine, I will drop this and not say anything.
110, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't perfectly remember how much gold I have, but I do know for a fact that it was above 200, so this should be fine.
Lovely.
Just over here, so poor.
Hey, that's what this is why I stockpile, even if in the end I end up wasting everything.
You know, Fable knows how to cure diseases, right?
Yeah, but how
Yeah,
much?
I don't have faith in Fable curing a disease.
It's not that I
This
don't.
is the woman you've watched stab herself in the leg with a sickle before bandaging up her arm.
Zero faith in you.
It's not that I don't trust Fable. It's that I don't know how much this guy will trust Fable.
I don't trust.
Fable knows how to cure diseases, illnesses. She's a witch. She knows how to heal and cure people, as well as poison
Yeah,
and
but
kill them.
most people don't trust the witch of the woods you go up to and says she can cure your disease.
Well,
Yeah,
you know what? They don't know she's They wouldn't know she's a witch unless you say she's a witch. You can say she's a doctor.
Our faith in you is not very high.
I think the problem is the party's trust, not this rando's trust.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But regardless, she brings out some gold in this little pouch with a seashell pin on it, and politely hands it to him.
He sort of sits there stunned for a minute. And then you hear and then you begin to hear a child crying. And then he sort of snaps to and says, thank you. If you ever need somewhere to lay up for the night, I can give you my spare room, but I kind of need to go now.
Uh, does your son need some help? I know some healing magic.
No, he's just cranky. He doesn't sleep very well with his condition.
Can I make a perception check?
You can make a perception check. Go for it.
30.
Yes, I shall give you yours in a moment. I'm going to give Fable hers first. Fable glancing around this house.
This
the
is
first thing.
the shadow still is, because it's my familiar. It's like my head. It doesn't tell. I don't know. Fable doesn't know until Fable gets there. If that makes sense.
Alright, so
But
your shadow sees
yeah.
is this is clearly the house of a single dad.
All right.
You go into this front room and there is a crib with a crying child in it. There are loads of toys all over the floor. There are pill bottles on the counter side. There are pictures of him and his infant son.
If the shadow has manual dexterity, so my shadow can be a shadow, or it can take the form of my race, like
Yes.
as a single action, transform into a humanoid of your ancestry with the same age, gender, and build of its true form. So because it's technically my shadow, it can look like a shadow me when it comes up, right?
Yes. It can look like you.
I want my shadow, once the baby starts to cry, to go into the room, become looking like me, but like a black kind of, I don't know how to exactly say
like
it.
a shadow you.
A shadowed me, like Dark Link.
Yeah.
To pick up this baby and start to rock it, and as it's touching it like this, to telepathically try to soothe the child.
I would like you to make 2 checks. I would like you to first make me an arcane check, as this is quite a difficult manifestation to handle. Children are very delicate. And I'd also like you to make me a thievery. That's the Pathfinder sleight of hand, isn't it? Yeah, thievery check.
So my Arcana is a 10 and my Thievery is a 10.
Okay. So
I'm using my Shadow's skills as well to roll those.
And no, the Arcana can be yours.
Oh, okay.
The Arcana's yours. The thievery is the
that
Shadow's.
case, the Arcana is a 22. The Thievery is still a 10.
You manage to sort of manifest yourself into this form, looking around in this room, and you sort of gently pick up the baby and begin to rock it, and the crying doesn't stop, but it does seem to lessen.
Yes, a weird mermaid girl who's like, hey, don't do your job and I'll give you money not to do your job shows up, and then a shadow creature appears and starts messing with your baby. I'm fucked.
After a bit of this rocking the baby backwards and forwards, you hear the shadow hears from the other side of the room. This seems to literally be a one-room flat. There is a lounge with a kitchen attached, and there is a bedroom, and that is the whole building. The baby's crib is in the lounge in the middle of the front room.
Oh, shit.
Like, you are about maybe 5 feet away from the kitchen area, and the whole thing is maybe sort of like 40 foot by 40 foot with a 10 foot by 10 foot bedroom off to the side. It is tiny.
Good.
And then the shadow hears, coming from the doorway, sorry, I need to go. And you hear footfalls.
Alright, what the shadow is gonna do, if it can. So, on these prescription bottles, my question is, Is there
They just seem
ingredients?
to be. No, there seems to be blank. It seems to be the bottles are just blank bottles with those sort of weird safety caps on the top of them.
All right. Is there a pill? Are these empty? Are all the bottles empty at this moment?
There are 2 empty bottles. There is a bottle that is on its side with a couple pills on the counter, and there are 2 full bottles.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna take a few of those pills. I want to examine them. I want to
Go
make
for it.
counterfeits. I'm gonna do that, and there's windows in here, right?
There is a window in the bedroom.
All right. Does the shadow know about that window?
What was your perception check again? Sorry.
I believe it was a 22.
You saw a glance of natural light coming from the cracked bedroom door.
Okay, cool. Because I cannot just pick these pills up and then go back to being a normal shadow. However, because I can teleport between shadows. Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah. I'm gonna have my shadow teleport, go into dim light, and teleport into dim light behind this man. In hopes the shadow isn't seen, and kind of walk out the front door with Leilu.
Make me a stealth check.
Sweet. This probably is gonna go horribly weird and wrong.
And Leilu, was there anything you were particularly looking for?
Okay, let me think. She was primarily just trying to see if there was anything out of the ordinary or if, like, he needed help, but was just not saying it.
Beyond that, you get a glance behind this guy while he's distracted as the baby starts to cry. And you basically watch what Fable's shadow happens unfold. You watch as this shadow takes a physical form, rocks the baby for a moment, and then grabs 2 of the tablets off of the kitchen counter, and then steps into shadows and sort of disappears and reformulates right behind this guy as he begins to turn around. And Fable, that shadow of yours, is it corporeal?
It is it is physical. It can be hurt. But
Okay.
yeah. It can be hurt.
I will give you 2 options. You can either hold on to the tablets and probably be noticed, or you can drop the tablets and swap back forms as this guy turns around.
Is there
But
a
you
way
will drop the tablets on the floor.
Is there a way to kind of drop them towards Leilu?
If you give me a feathery check and a ranged attack, I will allow you to underarm them past this guy as he turns around.
Got it. Let me open up the character sheet again. Alright. Thievery is a 12, and you said a ranged attack?
Yes.
24.
Lovely. So Leilu, you spot as this shadow appears behind this man as he begins to turn around. It seems like he's almost certainly going to spot this weird shadow Fable that stands behind him. Until you watch as this shadow sort of underarm baseball pitches these 2 small tablets towards you as it melds into the ground once more and sort of disappears from your sight. These tablets clatter on the ground by your feet, and the man halfway through turning around stops for a second, glances over his shoulder, Thanks. And then he steps back into his house, shutting the door.
Uh, her voice just weakens. She's just glancing at these tablets and wondering why in the everlasting fuck did Fable just steal tablets from a single father?
They're acid tablets to get high. No.
Mm.
The shadow is going to just straight up say to you, "Mimic medicine."
Mimic
I
medicine.
I
As
don't
it
think that.
connects with
Go
you
ahead.
again. No, it's the shadow's
I,
connecting with you again, so it can talk to you.
oh, okay. I don't think that's safe or even legal. But this is a baby we're talking about.
Pick up.
She rolls her eyes and picks them up.
You pick up these two small, chalky white tablets.
Internally, she's thinking, so this is what people on the surface use to get views, huh?
And do you step back out into the garden, or do you sort of hang around?
Hmm. I feel like, I'm gonna hang around because I wouldn't know why you'd bring that up.
Okay, you hang around. You hang around, and maybe. How long do you hang around, basically?
Uh, I, long enough to, in case something happens, or something doesn't happen, and she just would get bored and leave.
So after about 2 minutes, you hear another one of the doors open, house 4, and you watch as this merfolk lady with frizzy hair and wide eyes sticks her head out, glances left and right, sees you, narrows her vision, grabs the newspaper off the ground, and slams the door.
Blink, blink. That's suspicious.
Fuck that person right over there.
What do you say, Fable?
Well, that was Gabe saying it, not Fable. Or the shadow.
Oh.
No, that was the voice on high condemning her actions.
Do you think we should investigate that or just head back to the others?
The shadow will apply check. The shadow itself actually would say it's going to check, and as it says that, it starts to, you can see the shadow of it, what looks like your shadow, but actually it's, you start to realize looking at the shadow that it's in the shape of Fable as it stretches out from you and leaves
Fable,
your shadow.
God.
What would the shadow like to do?
uh it has a ability which lets it squeeze through gaps at least 2 inches wide and 1 inch. Uh, the familiar can also slip through gaps at least 2 inches wide or 1 inch wide if it squeezes. It can use this action again to return to its normal form. The action has the trait matching a tradition of magic or occult. Essentially, it has an ability known as Become Shadow. The Shadow Familiar transforms its body into barely tangible shadow.
So what's the size restrictions?
2 inches to 1 inch.
There is no gaps big enough for you to get through. There's no letterbox on this door. It is just a door that is currently closed.
Never mind. The shadow's gonna stretch back to Leilu. If it can't be nosy.
You know what? I think we should just do this the direct way. She'll just walk up to the door and gently knock on it.
You knock on the door, you wait 30 seconds, you get no response.
Hello, I wish to speak with you about something important.
And you hear suddenly, go away.
Why?
You can't come in. You're not allowed to come in.
Why not?
Because you're one of them.
One of what?
You know what you are.
I'm a mermaid, I'm aware of that. Is that the problem? You seem to be one yourself.
No, not that. You're one of them. You might not know it, but they're inside your brain.
Miss, I don't know how to tell you this, but I merely came to deliver money to help a single father with his family. I am not involved in any gangs or whatever.
That's what they want you to think. Everybody,
Well-
it's in everybody's brain.
Well,
Go away.
perhaps if you'd explain to me what's wrong, then I will be able to avoid it properly from now on. Doesn't that sound fair?
No, it's too late. If you don't know what they're doing, then you're already gone.
I'll give you 5 gold if you tell me.
Make it 10 gold.
Rolls eyes. Okay, 10 gold it is.
So you watch as this merfolk lady, again, these big black bags around her eyes, her absolutely frizzled hair, stains all over her like floral shirt, and you look past her and her house is absolutely full of old newspapers and old food containers and rubbish bags, and it stinks.
Oh no, it's a conspiracy theorist.
They put it in the food.
Okay, do you think you can start explaining to me?
They put they put the worms in the food, and then the worms go in your brain, and then the worms whisper to you. And because they're in your brain, you just think it's what you think, but it's not what you think, it's what they want you to think.
And by worms, do you mean actual worms or metaphorical worms?
No, actual worms. They put little worms in the food, and the little worms go into your brain.
Well,
Make me a perception check.
sure.
I think this
26?
person needs to be put out of their misery.
This woman is clearly having some sort of mental breakdown, and it's clearly been going on a very long time.
Okay. She'll just gently take the lady's hands in her own. Miss?
She
think-
flinches away from you as you try and touch her hands.
Miss, I feel like what's going on here is something much deeper. Could you please tell me where you originally figured out that there was worms in people?
The worms, it's in the food. They put it in the food.
Who's they?
Them, you know, them.
Could you describe who them are without saying them?
No, you never see them. They're always in the shadows. They're always watching.
Rubs temple.
They never take a
What?
form. They put things in your food and it makes you think like them.
rubs temple harder.
Do you think you can tell me where you originally found out this information?
It's obvious, isn't it? Just look around you. Look at all the food they make us eat. I managed to defeat the brainworms.
And how did
The
you do
woman
that?
saying that, the shadow's gonna attach to her and start talking to her in her head.
What does the
they
shadow
will
wish to say to
What's
this woman?
what's the word that there's a word for throwing yourself out the window?
Defenestrate.
Defenestrate. Yeah, that's what it just keeps saying it.
Okay. Can you not hear them now? I left the door open too long. Come in, come in.
goes in despite the fact that she really doesn't want to be in here.
You put your feet on the carpet and there's like a crunching sensation.
Tries not to vomit.
This woman shuts the door and she goes, come in, come in, come in. You can hear them. They're talking now. Listen, listen, listen. And she goes absolutely dead silent. And you think you can hear the squeaking of mice and rats.
Probably a cockroach or two.
And this place is horrific. There is old moldy boxes, old moldy bags. The carpet seems to have mushrooms growing in it. There is a single spot on the sofa. The rest of the sofa is like the whole apartment is almost floor to ceiling in these old rotten bags.
Okay, well, you know something? You cannot live like this anymore. And
I think I'm gonna attempt. Is it deception? Fuck it, I'm gonna make a deception on this.
well, lucky for you, I happen to know a bit of ancient mermaid magic. I mean, can't you hear it in my voice? I'm traditional in almost every sense. So if you so desire, I can use my ancient mermaid magic to fix you, and you won't have to live like this anymore.
Yeah, make me a deception check.
Do we have any hero points?
You have a hero point you started with, and I'm going to give you another hero point for not murdering a single father.
Thanks. I'm
Does
gonna
that mean
use
I
one
also
of
get
my
a
hero
hero?
points. 23. Because I got a nat 1 just now.
She looks at you credulously and then seems to almost hit her temple with her open palm like she's trying to shake something out of the side of her head.
I mean, we're mermaids. We're supposed to be elegant and beautiful and jubilative. You
Um,
mustn't live like this.
Fable, please make me a deception check.
Got it.
Jess and
9.
9.
I'm not giving a
Okay.
hero point to that.
No, but that doesn't matter. This woman begins screeching like a banshee. Get out! Get out! Get out! And she just starts throwing things at you, Fable.
Jesus Christ.
You mean Leilu?
Leilu, yeah. She starts throwing
uh,
things at you, Leilu. Like
you
old
know,
containers, rotten food.
I got a 23. It wasn't a nat 1 I got just now.
No, but Fable rolled to do something else, and that contradicted you.
God fucking damn it.
So yeah, this
Just
woman starts screeching like a banshee and throwing things at you.
okay, real quick before I do flee, is there like a stray mouse anywhere?
Make me a nature roll.
14.
There is this fat, possibly dead rat sat on the kitchen side.
Uh Possibly dead is still possibly alive. As she's just dodging these throws, she'll grab the rat and then book it out the door.
Sure, you grab this rat, and as you grab this rat, it lets out this yeah, as you grab this rat, it lets out this little squeak, and you watch as his front legs start to kick a bit. Yeah, you run out the front door. As you run out the front door, this woman's just screeching like a banshee at you, throwing things at you, and then she slams the door.
The shadow before it slams reattaches to Laylee.
Okay.
Or else it can't get out.
She will then just walk back outside with a very blank but horrified expression to the others, still holding this fucking rat.
The three of you watch as Leilu steps back outside, slightly disheveled now, holding this, like, really fat rat in her hands that's just kind of squirming at her.
How'd it go?
Fable,
Yes?
I'm gonna have to have a long talk with you later, but for now, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh. Oh, wait. She's gonna drive down next to Layla and go boop as her shadow reconnects to her.
And as this shadow reconnects to it, you get this flashback style fast forward through all the events the shadow witnessed.
Mm, mm, mm. Naughty, naughty. Laylu, I'm sorry for what my shadow did to you, but I would like those pills.
Eye twitches as she hands them to you.
Thank you. She's gonna put it in her pouch.
And
Well,
I suppose I understand that saying about curiosity killing the cat now.
as Fable drops these, as Leilu drops these pills into your hands, Fable, you hear this soft, distant, feminine voice whisper into your ears. Yes.
Fable gets a bigger grin on her face.
One more thing, she will use speak with animals on the rat.
Lovely. The rat sort of, for a moment, stops squirming and sort of tilts their head to look at you.
Hello, Mr. or Mrs. Rat. I'm very sorry you've had to be in such conditions, but I just wanted to know if you know a single thing about why that lady was like that, and if I should be worried. Well, more worried.
Oh, she was fucking crazy.
Is there not
She was completely mad.
and there's no origin for this?
No, that place has been a shithole ever since I was in there.
Do you want to not go back there?
I mean, it was lots of free food, but definitely got something living in there. And he sort of scratches behind his ear.
You're going to be my new friend. As she stops looking horrified and just puts up an almost performative a performative cheeriness.
Jubilee?
Jubilation, that's the full word. Think of it like an anime where a character has like the dark aura over them, they breathe in, and then there's just flowers.
Okay, where are we going now, bestie?
Well, do you have a name?
They called me Frederick.
Everyone, I'd like you to meet Frederick.
Hi,
And you
Frederick.
look, and Leilu's holding out in both hands this rat that's really fat, kind of scabby all up his back, and definitely has like a broken tooth. One tooth's broken, the other tooth is almost curled round. You've been introduced to Frederick.
And if I had a penny for every time I played a fish girl character who became friends with a rat, I'd have 2 pennies, which is weird that it happened twice.
Yeah, I was gonna make that same joke, but I thought you would first.
I am happy to report that I managed to pacify our first target, Arthur. He will hopefully not be a problem anymore. Kind of wish that
Pacify? Not be a problem?
uh, yeah, it should be fine. He's simply a struggling father. I kind of wish that I just stopped after dealing with him, but I suppose that would have meant not meeting my new friend. Ha ha ha.
She's laughing, but you can see in her eyes that she just wants to take a nap after all this is finished.
Well, now we have 3 more to go. Hopefully they don't go poorly.
I hope so too.
Yeah, Freddy looks up at you and goes, "Let's go, bestie!"
Hooray! Just starts walking.
Where do you all wish to head? Do you wish to head to the next person, or do you wish to go somewhere else first?
Next
I
person.
Yeah, next person.
You wish to head to the next person. The next
Yeah.
person is about 20 minutes south of where you are now. And you all return to your bikes and alight, diving through this city. It's been about an hour. Rush hour is over. There are still lots of vehicles moving about, but the traffic isn't as dense. There aren't as many people. And a lot of the gardens are quiet, bar couples and old people.
Hmm.
And you eventually come down onto this other sky garden with a little cafe on it. And you know that the next person you're after is a merfolk that lives in one of the flats above the cafe.
Alright, should we do the same again? I mean, that worked really well and nothing went wrong.
Nope, nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Leilu, how long does Speak with Animals last?
An hour.
Lovely. Throughout most of this journey, Fred's just been screwed. Fred's just been like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit.
She'll probably just cover his eyes.
Yeah, when you cover his eyes, he calms down quite a bit. I need to Google something real quick. Yes, so you've all landed in this thing. Who wishes to go?
Somebody else go this time.
Kane, do you want to do it?
Can you repeat?
Do you
Sorry, I
want to
blacked
go
it
and
out.
talk to the person?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet. Fable's gonna attach her shadow to you.
Nice.
Boop. Just for
Lovely,
backup.
Kane.
Don't worry.
Okay.
As
I
you walk,
won't.
yeah. As you walk up to the door next to the cafe that lets you into the flats above the cafe, can you make me a recall knowledge check of whatever your law skill is?
Let's see. Roll 20 plus I think it should not be high. Let me just load in my character sheet. Critical knowledge is lore what? My highest one is lore underworlds, but I don't think that works.
No, it is Lore Underworld.
Okay, perfect. 12 then. I got a 14 on a plus 12 roll. Perfect.
That's fine. You know he lives in the middle flat, and as you go up these stairs and you find yourself in a little bit of a corridor, you approach the middle flat, and something twigs in your brain. This guy, all the others just have numbers on the door. This guy seems to have a very intricately carved 5-claw bear hand paw.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll just. Hopefully, they don't know who I am. First of all, I just knock on the door.
You knock on the door, and there are a couple moments of shuffling and then silence, and then you hear, I should have conferred with you about this earlier, the first half of your old gang's safe phrase. This is a phrase where one of you would say something and the other has to respond with an appropriate answer to get access to safe houses.
Mm-hmm. I give the answer.
You give the answer, and then you hear what sounds like a deadbolt opening, and then a lock unlocking, and then another deadbolt, and then a chain lock, and then a third deadbolt, and then the door opens, and you see this rather burly, shirtless merfolk, which you almost immediately recognize. He is someone you pulled from the shit once. He was smuggling some illegal animals into a shipping yard, and he was talking to the customs manager, and he choked up, and you managed to get in there and pull him out without alerting the stock manager of the docks.
Nice. So I know who he is, I have a connection to him.
Yes.
Do I know his name?
You know his name's George, or his name was George. In your line of work, people tend to frequently change their names.
Yeah. I just say, hey George, so I kind of came to talk to you about something very important. Is it okay if I come in?
Oh yeah, Kane, come in, come in. And he just sort of like opens the door and lets you in.
So I just sit down anywhere really.
Yeah,
And
you come into this open room, and it's again, it's this really small studio. There's the kitchen up against one wall. There's a bed in the corner, and there are a couple of sofas with little coffee tables in front of them.
sounds good. So I sit down on one of the sofas and I say, look, George, I didn't know you were George when I came here, actually. Uh, so I got some information about a few people who are going to go on a job. This job you're going in uh, as a bodyguard, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah, some protection. He sort of turns away from you and goes to start rooting through his cupboards. Can I get you a drink or anything? And you see on the back of on his back, because he's just in sort of trousers, he has ink that is your enforcer's badge just inked across his back.
I see.
and he seems to have quite a high ranking version of your enforcer's badge inked across his back.
I see, I see. Okay. So, well, George, about that job, uh, I have heard of some info. I have found some information about the guy you are going to work for, and honestly, I just came by to ask you not to do it. He is a slaver, and that's just not something I can get behind.
Yeah, I knew we were doing. I knew a cargo was something the rest of the guild didn't approve of, but since I left, it's been hard finding work out here for smugglers.
I know how it is. Honestly, I just found work by pure luck. But honestly, I am really, really going after the guy you're working for. And I would be very grateful if you just didn't show up on a day. We're basically knocking uh, from door to door of the people who are going to work for him, and we're just kindly asking them not to do it. We haven't had any trouble for now, but hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah, and he sort of walks over to you and offers you a bottle of beer.
I take it and I drink a bit from it.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I
I
just. You can continue.
I yeah, I heard about the job and I was a bit funny about the job, but I really needed it. Though you've saved my ass more than once, so you tell me not to take this job, I'm not going to take it. If they come looking for me, I got ill or something.
Okay. By the way, uh, since I'm in the city I'm gonna be in the city for a while. I'll just let you know where you can find me if you need any help. Okay, if you need any job, if you need any money, just come here. And I just give him the place I'm sleeping at, the warehouse, like where he can find it.
Yeah, yeah, cheers, man. I'll swing by if I can't find any more work. If you ever need a place to lay low, come here. Door's always open to you. And
Perfect.
he sort of looks a bit pensively around. I heard what happened.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that. Actually, do you have any information on Ginevra? Is she doing fine?
Jen was. I left almost after you did, but Jen was upset, to say the least. Although last I heard, they were still looking for you, but had no information.
Was she angry?
She was she wasn't. She was more upset, but she might have been angry. I don't know. I didn't stick around long. There was a little bit of infighting once you left, and I thought I'd try my luck somewhere else.
King just nods and says thank you. So I think that's it. See you around. If you need me, you know where to find me. Okay?
Yeah, cheers, man. I'll let you know. And if any more work, now that I know you're in the city, if anything smuggling comes up, I'll let you know.
Thanks, man. So that's about it for now. Bye bye.
Yeah, and he just sort of gives you a like a solemn nod, and he sits there on the coffee table and continues to sip from his drink.
Yeah, I just give him a thumbs up and finish my beer before going out.
Yeah, and you leave, and Kane's gone for maybe 20 minutes. Probably less than that, actually. They had quite direct conversation, maybe 10 minutes or so. No
hmm
shouting, no loud noises, and Kane just comes back out of this block of flats.
hmm
Uh, Once Kane gets back out, Fable's gonna boop him on the head and take her shadow back. Were you able to
Well,
get
that
it?
was easy enough.
And yeah, Fable, you see again, you sort of flashback, he's sped up a bit of their conversation.
So far, so good.
Yeah, that really was fast. Thankfully. I knew the guy.
Yeah, didn't he owe you?
Well, I guess so, but he paid by just not going to do the job. That's enough payment for me.
Hmm. Off to the next one?
Yeah, think so. We can rest if you want to. We have like a whole day to do it.
Well, I want to study this medicine. So, the faster we do this. Also, I want to go shop. I want to buy spells. Learn more.
Now that you say it, I probably should also go looking for some new spells.
Yeah,
But
I'm
yeah,
sure we could
so.
pop down to the shopping district. It's just a bit below us now, isn't
hmm
Yeah.
But for now, on to the next one.
it? I mean, we've got 2 days to deal with these people if you want to go shopping.
Wouldn't it be better just to get it all done right now, though?
Probably not going to hurt. Yeah, I think if we get rid of them.
Yeah,
Let's
you
do
wish
it.
to head off to the third one?
Yeah, why not?
Lovely.
Yep.
Once more, you all sit upon your respected vehicles and take to the sky. This one is in a rougher part of the housing district. You begin to head a bit further up towards the factory district and
Distic.
quite far east. And while you're heading quite far east, it seems like the buildings begin to deteriorate in their external appearance. A lot of them are quite dirty. The sky gardens are all a bit roughed up. The bridges are in, well, they don't look like they're going to collapse, but they certainly don't look in very good condition. And you actually come down onto a bridge next to this rundown house, or next to this rundown cluster of flats in these massive towers that are the buildings in this place. This one seems rough. The door, where in the other ones, a lot of the doors were made out of wood and glass. This one is all metal, and some of the windows are boarded up. And there have been a lot of people in flying Murloc get-up hanging around.
Hmm,
Lamona,
that's
it's our
not the
turn. One of
best
our
sign.
turn.
Do you want to take this one, Fable?
Boop! And she pokes you on the head and gives you the shadow. I'll take the last. You have this, Ramona.
Okay,
Scream if you need it backup.
My
got
shadow
it.
can cast spells. It hasn't had to yet, but it can.
And Ramona, you wish to head into this block of flats?
Yeah.
Lovely. You approach this door
Yeah.
and it's rusted and dirty, and you swing it open, and inside is loads of broken furniture, bits of wood, pipes. This looks like a proper rundown shithole.
Yeah, just high alert, like hand on her blade, walking around.
You can hear shouting you can hear shouting in these flats, couples arguing, you can hear things being smashed. You can hear children crying. And you know he's in flat 10.
Yeah, I just go straight up and quick 3 knocks on the door.
And there are a few minutes and there are no response.
Yeah, just like really loudly rapping on the door, like open up.
As you knock on the door the second time round, you put a little bit of force into it. The door gently swings open.
Bow out, arrow knock, walking.
As you walk into this building, the first thing that hits you is the smell. It smells like this is someone's. It smells like an animal has shit itself and died in this flat. And the walls are stained brown, the carpet is covered in dirt and grime. There's all sorts of cuts and dents in the walls.
Lovely. Oi! Get out here.
And again, no response.
It's gonna like go to all of the whichever door looks like the bedroom, kick it open. I don't have to put my bow down.
You don't have to do that as you walk past this little corridor that opens up into the individual flat area. You see 3 people led out on a mattress. There's candles around the mattress. There's needles all over the floor. And these 3 people seem to just be led in their underwear on this mattress on the floor.
Do they look alive?
They look alive. They don't look like they're getting up anytime soon.
Do I know? I don't know which one's which. Do I?
No. There are there's a merfolk woman there and there are 2 merfolk men. Can you roll me a stealth check?
Yes, I can. Yeah, Ramona's struggling because half her brain, just kill them quick while they're asleep, like you would an animal. But everyone else was supposedly good and did not kill their people.
So far.
Yeah. 18?
Yeah, one of the merfolk men just seems to almost snort themselves awake, but then they roll over onto their front.
No, this is wrong. This is a very struggle for Mona here.
The shadow's with you.
Okay.
You can hear the shadow
Thanks.
whisper in your ear, do it. With the bow pointed at these people.
So unhelpful.
Well, you're being encouraged to commit murder, that's it.
Let go.
It just seems easier to her than doing it.
The same voices
This
that Fable hears in her head.
This is Ramona's decision to work through. She has to decide.
Does Ramona consider fish people and other people better than animals? She kind of doesn't like this city. They are strung out druggies. She's not.
These people are very clearly strung out, and they look like they've been like this for a while. They're dirty, emaciated. They seem to be missing teeth. All of them are missing big chunks of hair, like they've been ripped out.
I just need them to show up.
loosen your grip.
I'm not got the arrow drawn. It's just like ready to go.
Oh,
If I loosen the grip, I
Draw.
drop the arrow on the floor.
draw
Um,
back.
Yeah, I think Ramona might.
Does Ramona think?
I think Ramona's going to try and break their own. They just have to be unable to pull off the job.
If
So-
Ramona wishes to break their legs, I'm going to. Which one are you going for first? And
the one who sort of snorted themselves awake. I'm just going to crush his hand.
Just stand on it.
I'm just going to stand on his hand with my full weight.
Make me an athletics check.
21.
He just begins to scream in agony.
Well, so he becomes conscious very quickly.
He has become conscious and he is screaming in agony.
I'm just gonna stand over here. This is a message. Do not head to the Undercity, or else it's gonna get significantly worse. I'm just gonna kick him in the ribs.
Make me an intimidation roll.
Oh, 16?
A 12 doesn't hit you, does it?
12 does not hit me.
Upon this man lunges for a broken glass bottle that lays next to the mattress, and swings at you wildly, but misses. And he's now laying on his back, brandishing a glass bottle at you.
Can my shadow do an ability it has called Steel Shadow?
Go for it.
Essentially, it's an attack roll. If it hits them, they become enfeebled, and they don't have a shadow for 24 hours.
Sure, go for it.
Cool. That's a 15.
Is it an attack roll?
Yeah, it's a spell attack roll.
It hits them. How much does it do? Any damage, or do they
Nope.
just become enfeebled?
They become enfeebled 1, and their shadow disappears for 24 hours. So for 24 hours, they're enfeebled 1, and their shadow disappears. If they use anything that can make their enfeebled condition leave, their shadow reappears before the 24 hours.
Yeah, Ramona, you watch as the shadow, Fable left at your feet, lunges forward. And this man turns this pale green. And his eyes shudder as he goes into this fight or flight panic. And this is turning into a fight roll, me initiative.
Oh god.
Oh, and after the screaming, the woman woke up, the other man did not.
Cool, 29.
Cool, you go first. That's better than their 9.
Last chance to back off.
They don't say anything.
Cool.
They do seem to be sort of rocking backwards and forwards and swaying side to side.
Oh god, they're plastered.
I think I might I don't know. I'm gonna try and break his other hand, the one with the bottle, first. Gonna be smart people here.
Make me a disarm check.
Cheers.
I believe an athletics.
D-Rack. Disarm. Disarm. You attempt an athletics against the target's reflex.
Lovely.
Alright, I got a 16. I'm going to use my hero point for 29.
I'm gonna stop you right there. You don't need to. You managed to disarm them.
Cool. I break his other wrist.
Attack roll.
Let me find a normal, not +1 weapon. Plus 13. 23.
Roll damage.
Like, fist damage is going to be 5.
5.
5 for my fist damage. And they want me to roll some other damage numbers. Fist is 5.
Fist is 5. Roll your fist damage.
Yeah, the 5 damage.
Okay.
I got 2. It's a D4 plus 3.
Yeah. They again scream, and this woman sort of scrambles to her feet and pushes herself up against the back of the wall. Is that your turn?
I'm just gonna, yeah, as my last action, I'm just going to turn and walk away. Don't head to the Undercity.
Lovely. The woman throws a glass bottle at you. Throws the same glass bottle across the room as you turn and walk away. You're almost out the door, and does a 11 hit you.
11 does not hit me.
The bottle goes soaring over your head and shatters as it lands in the corridor. Do you stay to fight, or do you just leave?
Can I just leave?
Yeah, you're able to just leave.
I want to break the guy's wrist, or his hands in one wrist, and then just fuck off and hope they get the message. If not, we can just kill them later. Are they coming after me, or?
Nope, they don't come after you. They let you leave.
Question: does that room look very flammable?
A lot of the things in there does look
Yeah,
flammable.
yes. Based on the description of this apartment building, I think the whole building looks flammable.
Cool.
Oh my god, Fable, no.
And yeah, Ramona, you walk out of this dingy shithole and stand in front of the rest of the party once more.
Dealt with.
Fable's gonna boop you on the head and get the information.
Are you okay?
You hurt?
No.
They did brandish a broken glass bottle on you.
What?
I had a broken bottle. Don't think we have to worry.
Question: how flammable was that room? Like, could I use a cantrip like ignition to set it ablaze?
Probably.
Ignition would start a small fire that would probably run out of control.
Yeah, but you have a very high chance of burning down the rest of this building. I don't think there are any fire safety measures.
Okay. Does Fable care?
Does Fable care?
Let me think.
Fable did hear the crying of children.
Fable doesn't like harming kids.
I would hope so. She is a children herself.
Yeah.
In fact, you can probably hear the crying of children from outside.
Alright. Fable's gonna do something else then. So, Fable is gonna send her shadow in there. Back in there. To the one with the broken wrist.
Yes.
With the instructions to see what this man is saying. And if it doesn't seem like No, okay. The shadow's gonna go and attach itself to the man with the broken wrist before we leave.
Okay.
And it's
Where are
going
you
to
going
ask
with
the
this?
man a very simple question. Are you and your friends going to do the job? If the answer is no, the shadow will leave. If the answer is yes, Fable's gonna give a count of 10. Is gonna wait exactly 5 minutes for an answer. And if the shadow isn't out within those 5 minutes, the shadow is gonna start casting spells against the people inside that one room.
So as the shadow goes back in there, it sees the man with the 2 broken hands is passed out on the floor again.
Mm.
And the woman who got up and threw the bottle is rocking backwards and forwards in the corner, scratching her arms and muttering to herself.
Alright, then it's just gonna touch her and ask her if they're gonna do the job.
All you get is what job?
Oh shit. The protection job.
She responds with, I don't know nothing about no protection job.
Well, would you count that as a yes or a no?
It seems that she is completely of no knowledge of what the other people do.
Okay, cool. And from my understanding, Ramona just found the first person, didn't ask them if they're going to do the job, and broke their wrist.
Uh-huh.
She said, told them not to do the job.
Yeah, and they don't know! So,
She doesn't know.
At least
Someone in that place
two of
knew
them
about
know. Two of them were warned not to do the job, and one of them got their hands broken. It's enough of the message.
Okay, well,
Or it's not, and we'll show up later, but
Well, that other man never woke up.
yeah.
Throughout all the things that happened, he never woke up.
the shadow is going to touch the one that's not awake, and the spell
The
live
one with the
wire,
broken hands, or the one with the one that
So
wasn't
the
up?
unconscious one,
the
right?
unconscious one, the other one, the third one.
Does a creature need to be alive for you to attach yourself to it?
No. And when I say attach myself, it essentially just goes into their shadow. But it
Lovely.
can
Then
touch
you
them.
meld
that.
with the shadow of this creature, or
Yeah.
this thing.
So I'm going to attack it.
Go for it.
The shadow is gonna, because I can cast spells through the origin point of my shadow. I want the target to be this unconscious man to be attacked with live wire.
Go for it. Zap
Does
him.
a 30 hit it?
A 30 definitely does hit.
Cool. It takes 12 points of damage and 2d4 consistent electricity damage. And if this man's not dead...
He was dead before you attacked him.
Oh. Huh.
You attach yourself and you cast on this thing that you presume is an unconscious man, and this is someone who has died.
Yeah, well now his body's just electrified for that brief moment. Shit. Alright, cool. The shadow's gonna come back to me. It did its job.
Are we the baddies?
No. Look,
that's for you to decide.
If you attack a corpse, does that make you an evil person?
It depends on what YouTube cartoon lovers are arguing about this week.
Okay, since you are a YouTube cartoon lover, is it?
I don't care. I watch Heaven Hotel. I have no right to judge anyone.
That's fair.
Lovely. Yes, the shadow returns and explains to you what happened.
So the three people in that room, one is dead. The other woman was having a panic attack, and the one that you knocked unconscious is probably got the message.
Ramona never knocked them unconscious. They were still conscious
Oh.
when Ramona left.
Okay. And the one you broke their wrist is unconscious. So I think they got the
Yes.
message, all three of them.
Message delivered. And as I said, if they do show up, we can deal with them then.
Yeah.
Ramona, you do feel slightly dirty after leaving that place.
She was in and out, and most of the blood's on her shoe, not her.
No, but like mentally, you
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
dirty after going into that place.
I've in real life, I've been into blocks of flats like that. It's not.
And what does the party wish to do now? Do you wish to head off to the fourth person?
Yeah.
Seems.
Sure.
Your turn,
Finish it
Fable.
up.
Right, everyone send everything you can to keep an eye on Fable, like she's been doing to us.
Fable
You
has just
said-
been backup.
Yeah, sure you have. There's this big vulture's just gonna follow you in
That's
this
fine.
one.
That's exciting. Does the vulture have its own helmet, by the way?
No.
Okay. So we go into the fourth person?
Unless anyone objects, you all get back onto your bikes and you head off to the fourth and final bodyguard.
Kane,
Sure.
I will say this. Leilu is like tiredly leaning on you.
You sleepy already?
Yeah, let's call it sleep.
Yeah, okay. We'll just finish it up and then we'll rest a bit.
Nods slowly.
So yes, you take to the sky and you travel through this residential district and you head more towards the sort of crossover between the residential district and the commercial district. Coming up, flying between these buildings, the paths get less and less until you finally find yourself coming up to one of these, essentially a car park that's full of motorcycles, and you know that this person spends. Lenny told you that this person spends basically every minute of every day at this boxing gym.
Mm. Don't worry, I have this. Fable is gonna park and skippity doo into the boxing gym.
Yeah, you walk into this boxing gym and there's quite a few people in here. There are a couple sparring. There are a few people just standing around and chatting. There are people at the bags, going at the bags. There are people lifting weights in the corner. There's a bench that someone's doing deadlifts at.
Did I get a name or what they look like?
This one is the elf.
So I'm just looking for an elf.
You're looking for an elf. That was all the information you were given.
Alright. Where is this elf? Is there an elf in here?
Make me a perception check.
Sweet. Did we, by chance, get another hero point as well?
No, because what Ramona did wasn't terribly heroic.
What about Kane?
Oh, sure, you got one from Kane because he managed to.
Sweet. That's 2. 22, by the way.
You spot punching one of these bags in this corner is from behind. You see pointy elf ears, a blonde half ponytail.
Hmm.
And they really seem to be going at this bag, and they are quite broad in the shoulders.
Fable's gonna go up to them. Excuse me. My name's Fable. What's yours?
They call me the mighty Talathnar.
Nice to meet you, mighty Talathnar.
This elf turns around, and it's this beautiful, delicate face that's got a black eye and a scar on their chin with a mangled lip. And they have this incredibly broad, muscly, round physique with no body hair at all.
Hmm. I've heard that you and a few others were going to do a job. We are going to do a job. It'd be really nice if you didn't.
Why should I listen to you? You look like you couldn't even throw a punch.
Hmm. Well, not in this form. I can turn into a big gorilla and punch, but I'm more of
No.
a
I
healer.
could beat the shit out of a gorilla.
Do you think you can do it with one hand tied behind your back?
I could do it with both hands tied behind my back.
Hmm. Now, could you do it? Could you do it when you're inflicted with a spell?
No magic. Magic is for little bitches.
Ah. Well, if you would be so kind and generous to not do the job, I could help save your child if need be. I could owe you a favor down the road. I could. Well, you don't seem like the type that would like to be told break your wrists either.
You couldn't break my wrist if you tried. Look at you, you scrawny little thing.
That's very true, I am.
And this guy just sort of does like a flex. He does like a Usain Bolt pose and flexes.
Mm.
Everybody in the gym knows Talashtar is the best hands around.
I wouldn't disagree. But if Talashtar is the best around, why waste it on such a small little job? Wouldn't you want to do something bigger and better with your life? Something that'll prove Talashtar is the best?
Talashtar's already on the way to greatness, little one.
What if I could make you greater?
Yeah, and how would you do that?
Mm. You ever heard of a Drakenheart mutagen?
Nah, sounds like magic. Magic's for pussies.
It's not magic, it's like a steroid.
Nah, I don't need steroids, I'm all natural.
But steroids are also very natural. They come from nature. It's like when someone like you drinks water, you know? Like when people drink water, it's natural. You eat food, it's natural. A Drakengen mutagen is also just as natural.
Nah, I'll tell you what, little one. You bring me someone who can hold themselves in the ring, and I'll consider whatever dumb request you're on about.
Hmm. She thinks
In
for a moment.
fact,
Yeah?
you know that gorilla you said you knew?
Yes.
I'll fist fight that gorilla.
You don't say. Hold on, I'm gonna see if a gorilla or a mantis has more punching power. Oh my god. Well, you could fight a gorilla.
Mantis like a praying mantis.
I can turn into a insect and I become
Yeah, yeah. You understand how the mantis is not going to win?
No, I get 10
Please,
temporary hit
please.
points and I get 18 plus my level in AC.
Yeah, but you're an insect.
Yeah. And that doesn't stop the other buffs of this spell.
I'd go for the gorilla.
Actually, the insect form is better than animal form. I'm real quick reading through both of them.
You're gonna kick this man's ass as a bard.
Yes, that's what I'm kind of thinking.
He seems to really want to fight the gorilla.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're so strong, and if I can beat you up, I mean, if you really want to get to the gorilla, how about this? I can bring you the gorilla if you can beat a beetle in a fight.
Little bug, I'll squash it. In
Or
the
even
ring, 10 minutes.
any bug.
I'll beat anyone to get to that gorilla.
Got it.
And as he says that, he sort of punches his fists together, flexes his arms, and wanders into the changing rooms.
Yeah, Fable is gonna, because it's only 1 minute. Fable's gonna wait a bit. Get
And
in
you
the
want 10
ring.
minutes to prepare.
Yeah. Fable's gonna send her shadow out to tell Leilu be prepared to become a gorilla, and then go back into the gym.
Wait, me?
Yes, because you also have animal form.
Are you about to... Wait, Fable can't turn into animals, can she?
No, she can, but she's gonna turn into a centipede first.
She should be able to. I think that's kind of... I don't know, I've not played as a druid in Pathfinder.
Alright, so he's gonna go in the back, right?
He goes into the changing room so that you do any prep you need to.
Alright, the first thing I'm gonna do is... Shit. I wonder if there's a way... See, this spell is 3 actions, which means it's very noticeable if I cast it on him. And because the way I can cast through my shadow, it's an additional action, and I don't have 4 actions, I can't just have my shadow curse him with Cup of Dust. But I can have it curse him with any of my other curses, just to give myself an advantage. Nah, I just want to kick his ass as an insect. So first, is this a concentration spell? Concentrate. Fuck, I can't do that. Never mind. I was gonna cast haste and then insect form. Okay, I can do this though. As I wait for him, I want my shadow to... What does this room look like? The changing room where he's preparing.
It is pretty close to a modern changing room. There's this central bench, and the outside walls are lined with lockers.
Okay. So, I want my shadow to teleport inside one of the lockers.
Okay. Does it need line of sight?
I need line of sight, I think. And I'm going to peek my head inside. And I'm going to cast it through my shadow. Because I need to know where he is if I'm casting a spell at him, right?
Yes.
I'm going to
You need
cast...
line of sight of the origin of the origin point of the spell.
Yes. And I can cast ranged spells through my shadow. So I'm going to cast... I'm going to kind of like pretend to be, because I'm young. I can sit there and be like, I'm waiting for, my sister, brother, whoever. And I'm gonna cast Worms Repast on him through my shadow in the changing
Go
room.
for it.
So he needs to make me a Fortitude saving throw.
Lovely. He got a 14.
Cool, that's a failure. The target. So as he's preparing, he can feel worms materialize into his skin and start to eat away at his insides. The target takes full initial and persistent damage and is flat-footed due to the pain for as long as it takes persistent damage. This spell lasts for 9 worms, materialize in the flesh of the target creature, dealing 4d6 piercing damage and 1d6 persistent piercing damage. The target is a non-skeletal corporeal undead creature. You deal an additional 2d6 persistent piercing damage. The target must attempt a Fortitude save. So the target takes full initial and persistent damage and is flat-footed due to the pain for as long as it takes persistent damage. So until it can find a way to get rid of the persistent damage, it continuously is flat-footed.
How does he get rid of the persistent
It makes a check at the end of all of its turn.
Yeah.
Make a
And
DC
then
15 if it's
Okay.
flat
If
flat D20 DC 15 typically.
Yep. So I should roll the damage as well. Roll it in the server because I don't have my bag dice on my person.
So how long before the fight do you do this?
I do it exactly 1 minute before the fight. Hurry up! Hurry up! Or fuck it. How about 30 seconds?
Okay, so he takes the persistent damage for it's DC 15 flat check normally for that, isn't it?
I believe so.
Or is it still your DC?
It should be since it's a flat check, it'll be a D20, and depending on I think it also depends on the circumstance of it, because let's see, it's because the idea of it is it's how do you let me look at this spell. So this is the 46. He takes 13 points of damage.
Yeah.
Initially.
And as you're peeking in, you watch as this guy's psyching himself up. And then you cast a spell and he hunches over and vomits onto the floor, but continues to psych himself up even through the vomiting.
So how to get rid of persistent damage. The damage, like normal damage, it can be doubled or halved on the result of the attack roll, a saving throw. So yeah, it's a DC 15 flat check to recover.
Okay, so for 2 turns he takes some persistent damage. What persistent damage does he take?
1d6, so an additional 4 for one of them, and 6, an additional 6 damage in 2 turns.
Okay.
Is he still?
Yeah, he's psyching himself up. You cast a spell on him. He throws up and he's a bit weary. And he's still trying to psych himself up, and then about 12 seconds later, he lets out this thunderous growl, this war cry, and then throws up again on the floor. But this time it seems like whatever he's thrown up was writhing a bit, and you can assume that the worms are no longer in his system.
Alright. And as he's about to leave, I'm gonna cast one more spell on him as he throws up the last bit of worms. Oh no, it's only one round. Never mind. No point in doing that. But no, that's a touch. Can't do that one. Cool. Alright, I'm ready. Fable's gonna go into the ring.
Yeah, and after the 10 minutes elapse, you watch as out from the changing room comes this same buff elf, but he's wearing like glove. He's wearing these arm length green and black leather gloves, and he's wearing these tight green and black leather speedos, and he's wearing these like thigh high black leather boots, and he's got a lucha libre mask on.
Oh, before we
And he
do this,
stands on the edge of the ring and shouts, "The mighty Thanator will take down another puny target."
My name is Thanator.
before we do this, Thanator, I
Half
changed my
Minotaur,
mind.
half Thanatos.
I'm gonna turn into a centipede, and then she casts insect form into a centipede.
"Puny bug, I will squash you." And so some rando comes up to the side. It's just this other merfolk. "Both fighters ready." And Thanator just screams.
Gladiators.
Fable has not come out for 15 minutes, by the way.
I've got my Festus is watching from the rafters. I assume Festus can make smart decisions if it looks like Fable's going to die. That's just banking on my bird knowing better than Fable.
21 is my initiative.
Lovely. You go first.
Sweet.
The
Doesn't say how big of a
announcer
bug I
goes,
become.
"Ready, steady, go!" You become a bug-sized bug.
Sweet. I
A
am now
bug-sized bug.
I'm a bug-sized centipede. I get 10 additional. I get 10 temporary hit points. Are we just close enough to just start whacking at each other, or do I have to move close?
You are 15 feet away from each other. There is 10 feet between the two of you.
Sweet. I'm gonna come up to him. I'm gonna crawl up in my centipede little legs, and I'm gonna make 2 attacks.
Does being a centipede change your movement? Because you are now a tiny creature.
I have 25 feet still.
Okay.
And I have 25 feet climb speed if I want to climb.
So you can get up to him in a single action?
Yep. So I'm going to make 2 attacks. That is, the 17 is actually a 30, and a 17 and a 30 are my 2 attacks.
The 17 misses, the 30 hits.
Critical or no?
No, not a crit.
Cool, he's about to take persistent damage. 1d8. he takes 4 points of damage
Lovely.
as the centipede nibbles on his little toes. And he takes, at the end of his turn, 1d4 damage, which will be 1.
Okay. Is that
That's
your
all.
whole turn?
Yep.
Lovely. He lets out a roar to the sky, dramatically lifts his arms, and does a
Oh, wait,
ooh.
actually, that should have been a 6 damage, not 4, because I get a +2. My bad.
Okay, that's fine. Does a 30 hit you?
30 does hit me.
Oh,
And you are about to take.
oh, that's a lot of dice.
What?
That's a lot of
9
dice.
points of bludgeoning damage as he stamps on your bug form.
9
And then
points.
he's gonna try and stamp on you 2 more times.
Cool.
What about? I'm guessing an 11 misses.
Yeah, that's a horrible miss.
And a 23.
Miss, actually. Great.
So yeah, the other 2 attacks miss.
And he takes an additional 1 point of damage.
He takes 1 point of damage.
Because he didn't try to get rid of this persistent damage, which is poison.
Oh, he automatically takes damage, then automatically gets to make the persistent check.
It's automatic? I thought they
Lovely.
have to take an action to get rid of it.
If it's persistent damage,
After you take persistent damage, roll a DC 15 flat check to see if you recover from it. Yeah.
What check is he making?
flat d20.
Flat d20. He fails. He only got 13, so he does take the
That's
persistent
fine.
damage.
Yeah, apparently they take it, then they make the check.
Yes.
That's fine. I weakened him before the fight. Yeah. As a little centipede.
It is your turn again.
Attack modifier is higher. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep attacking him. 3d20. So the first one, I get a plus 13 on all my attacks. So that's a 31 minus 5.
The 31 is a crit.
31's a crit? Okay, so
Yeah.
that's a crit. The second one is 6. 6 plus 8. That's I can do math. 14. That's a miss. Cool. Plus 2. You take 18 points of damage.
Lovely.
And yeah, that's all a Fable can do as a little bug.
Cool. So he is enraged by this. You hear him scream in anger as he goes, "Ah! No one can beat the mighty Thanator." So we've got a nat 20.
That hits.
We've got that's probably a crit because that's actually a 33.
Is that with the nat 20?
That's with the nat 20.
Yeah, that's a crit
Yeah.
anyway. My
And then
AC is 24.
a 38,
That's also a crit.
and then a -3.
That's not gonna do shit.
38.
That was yeah, fucking crit. That was a natural. No, the 38 was a 19. No, sorry, that should have been a 28, not a 38.
That
Yeah,
makes more
that's-
sense,
Yeah,
math.
I was like, what?
I do the numbers in my head. I'm like,
Yeah, if natural 20 was a 33.
yeah.
Yeah.
28 still hits you though, so that's 3
Yeah.
nasty hits.
It is 2 hits.
So the crit was
1,000,000 damage.
no, it was only 14 points of damage.
Okay.
The crit was 14, and then the roll was 7 points of damage.
21 total.
21 total, yeah.
Yeah.
Puny bug, you mean nothing. You'll go.
Sweet. This is fine. Fable's fine. That is a 1 hit, 2 miss.
Lovely.
That's 4 points of damage.
And what persistent damage did he take?
Oh yeah, he takes for the other round.
And he rolled a 19 on his flat check.
Sweet.
No longer persistent.
Nope, it's persistent again because I keep biting him. So last turn he took an additional 1 point of damage.
Okay.
This turn he takes an additional 4 points of damage and gets back to being poisoned.
Okay.
Which is great. I was going to pick the beetle because it just does 2d10. But I think the additional persistent poison damage might help me out better.
I mean, maybe, but D10, you do a D10 on a hit, that's like 10 rounds of the low damage on the persistent.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's my turn.
I like more dice.
I do too.
Cool. Thanatos is looking a little wheezy.
Thanator
is looking a little wheezy as he again raises his arms and goes for this big dramatic stomp.
I like how people are watching this man get his ass beat by a bug.
Actually, no, he's gonna he tries to reach down and grab you.
Ooh.
So that's a natural 1.
Oh, critical fail, which special things happen on critical fail grabs.
Yeah, he falls over and takes 6 points of bludgeoning damage. He fall over and takes 6 points, or is that a trip?
I don't know about the 6, but
Grapple, if
fall
you
over.
already had the target grabbed or restrained at breaks free, your target can either grab you as if it succeeds using the grapple action against you, or force you to fall and land prone. Fuck it! Because you failed your grapple, I get to choose if I'm grappling you now? And, yeah, I'm gonna grapple you as a... No, wait, no, I can't because I'm a small bug. Never mind, you fall prone.
Yeah, he reaches down and he tries to grab you and he fucking misses and then falls flat on his face. And he is going to attempt to hit you twice, though.
While he's just on the ground?
Yes, he starts stomping his feet and just
Yeah,
flailing
it's only a
his legs around.
-2 to hit while you're prone.
Yeah.
So that first one is a...
And don't forget, because grapple is an attack action, there's map to it.
Yeah, 22?
Miss.
Lovely. And the second one is like a 11.
Yeah, that's also a miss. Cool. This just makes things easier for Fable. He also takes 1d4 persistent damage, which is 2.
2, lovely.
Alright. Is this man ready for Fable's extra attacks?
Go for it.
Nat 20, Nat 1, and a 20... That's, let's see. Take away 10, 3, 20. Does a 20 hit him while he's prone?
20 hits him while he's prone, and then obviously the nat 20 is a crit.
Alright, so the first one's going to be a crit. That's a 20 on the nat 20 attack.
Lovely.
1d8 plus 2 for the normal. That is 25 points of damage on this turn alone. And if he did pass his flat check, he's back to being poisoned.
He did not pass his flat check because as you bite at him, he rolls onto his back and he starts to cover his face with his hands. No, I submit.
How are the people who've been watching this feel?
They are all in stunned silence.
Alright. And then Fable is
Thanator is no match for you, witch.
Fable's gonna turn back into her normal form and just clap. So you won't do the job tomorrow? You won't take this job?
Yes, Thanator will decline the job.
Oh, good.
On this, I need to head to bed. I just wanted to see a Fable one, and I will catch you soon. I know we're about to come to the end, but
That is
Wait.
where I was going to end the session once Fable left the gym.
Yeah.
Wait, before you guys leave, I have something. Crap.
It's only good for going, the rest of us is sticking around for 5.
Let's go,
In
bestie.
unwatered.
I like it. She looks so sad and distressed.
Oh my god.
I love it. I love Freddy. It's great.
That is amazing.
How weak does this man look?
Freddy.
Out of curiosity.
He looks pretty beat up, but he doesn't look like he's going to die anytime soon.
Cool. Fable is gonna draw this out just with one more thing and say, does that mean I am now better than the great Thanatos?
You have bested the great Thanator in hand-to-hand combat. Your magical might has beaten me.
It's okay, Thanatos.
Please spare my honor.
I will.
It's clearly, even you can tell this Fable, he's being very clearly being theatrical.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. Your honor shall be spared once you have sworn allegiancy to the Union Coven.
I swear my allegiancy to you and your armies.
That's all I needed to hear. Thank you. And what's your name again? Is it just fully Thanatos the Mighty?
I am Thanatos.
Alright. Thank you so much, Thanatos. You'll still be known as Thanatos the Mighty under the Union Coven. And then Fable's gonna skip out of there.
And it is complete dead silence. You can hear a pin drop as you leave.
Did it.
And yeah, after about 20 minutes, Fable comes back.
She's got like a bloody nose. Some bruises.
Did you get in a fight?
Oh, yes. The person who I had to see was named Thanatos the Mighty, but he wouldn't quit the job unless he was beaten, and I told him he couldn't beat a bug. And then I turned into a bug, and then I beat him up in front of everyone.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Well, did it work?
Oh, yes, it did. He also swore allegiance to the Union Coven.
Amazing. So we have a new ally now, apparently.
I didn't even kill him. I hope you're proud, Kane.
I'm very proud.
And Fable is gonna just give this big grin.
So yeah, and on the news of Fable beating Thanator the Mighty, that is where this session will come to an end. It is just